Round two, we won the die roll. Play first. Nope. These hands don't... Well, even if this was two creatures, I'd be hesitant about this hand. But yeah, this is definitely a mulligan. All right, this hand, on the other hand, is very good. Conclusion on top. I feel... Whoa. What did I do? What did I do? I think we're actually going to bottom this. I would rather... I mean, it would be, I guess, kind of bad if we saw a fourth land, but I'd much rather just see, like, some of our other aggressive cards rather than a 5-drop removal spell for this hand. If that makes sense. I mean, obviously, I don't want to draw a bunch of lands, but... And Tidy Conclusion deals with everything. But I feel like it's not something I want to keep on top in my opener. If I'm already a card down, I feel like I'm in a bigger rush to find better things. Like Foundry Screecher, for example. Because now we could potentially go Screecher into Snare Thopter, which is very good. So if he plays an Artificer, I'll try and kill it. Oh. Well, sure. You know what? I'm fine with Pyrohelixing that. Traded my common for their uncommon, right? That's a good trade. Ah, Deadlock Trap. You know, I actually like Deadlock Trap. I think it's actually a pretty good card. I got to show it off a little bit a couple drafts ago and have it do some things. But and we are off to the races. Well, admittedly, a Tidy Conclusion would be kind of good right now, but that's all right. Actually, a Subtle Strike would have done exactly the same thing, so it's not even that big of a deal. So I played the land there because we actually have a couple 5 and 6 drops to play, but maybe I didn't need to do that. All right, I guess we can play the Daredevil. Yeah, I guess I'll trade a Genius and a Screecher for a Serpent. I could just take 5 here too, but... Oh, okay. Well, I'll trade my Flyers. That's fine with me too. I just feel like the Serpent's going to have quite a bit of inevitability if we don't deal with it now. All right, so Let's play the Genius first. We're going to have to... Oh, and I get to get in with the Daredevil too. Nice. Opponent can sack the Prism to buff this, though. So actually, I guess we keep the Daredevil back. But depending on what I draw next turn, I can do some looting. Well, guess I'd rather have the Flyer than the Monitor. Or do I technically want to keep them both for rummaging later? It's not a bad idea. Yeah, I think we're going to wait another turn. We're on a kind of stalled board state right now. Not exactly stalled, I guess, but... Well... Kind of don't want to take damage here either. All right, we'll play the Skiff. And I guess we'll rummage away the Monitor. Because we're kind of digging for some removal, I think. All right, let's get rid of the land. All right, could play the Fireweaver. I guess it's not that bad. Can crew a Skiff with it. So, I think the Monitor overall is a better card than the Fireweaver, but digging 2 cards deeper in our deck is pretty valuable too. Okay. I'm pretty happy they're not attacking with the Trafficker. All right, Lookout actually is pretty good here. If I attack with the Daredevil, my opponent... If I draw another artifact, I guess I can attack with the Daredevil. Opponent's got a little synergy here. Can turn this into a 3/3. Okay. So, guess we'll take 4. All right, so we sandbag the land. Be rummage fodder. That doesn't really make sense, but I like it. Okay. That's really helpful for us. Yeah, that was a pretty bad move for my opponent. All right, so I'm going to block, I think I'm going to block the Trafficker. Yeah, with the Daredevil, because we can just get it back. Opponent can't even give the Trafficker flying now either, because they used their last energy to tap my Lookout. So we'll block here. What? I don't get that at all. My opponent is making some very odd decisions here. You have the servos to throw away. You have the prism to throw away. This becomes indestructible. I don't understand. I don't understand it. I like it, but I don't understand it. All right, so we go Skiff first. Rummage away land. Look at all these triggers. How sexy is that? All right. So, one to you, sir. Yes, I would like to bring you back. Yes, I would like to rummage. Ditch the land. Ditch the land. And another land. So we can play the Daredevil, we can play the Infiltrator. I think we just play Infiltrator here. It makes worse use of mana, but it lets us keep the land. Yeah. And lets us continue to put our opponent on a nice little clock here. Uh-oh. Attacking with the Hawk. That doesn't seem like a good idea. Oh, I guess you can tap the Skiff. All right. I feel like we can get aggressive now, though, because my opponent's doing this. I mean, maybe not. squad is pretty good. So opponent's got 7 creatures, and we're going to have 7. Opponent can just chump and make the patrol big. Let's just play the squad, I guess, and I suppose I'll keep the black open in case I draw another lookout. So, 1 to our opponent. Let us loot. Loot again. Rummage. Let's be fair. Rummage. Okay. So, do I have a good attack here? I don't think so, right? Opponent can just chump and make this guy huge. So, we'll hang out. So yeah, you can, that's what the commenter said, you can crew this while it's tapped, which is important to note. That wind must sound crazy to you guys, huh? Alright, so we take 5. Opponent has... Alright, well, this is kind of the make or break turn here. Oh, well, maybe not. No cards left in my opponent's hand. So, can I tidy conclusion the serpent and win? My opponent will have 1, 2, 6 blockers to my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 attackers. Looks like it's not good enough. So we are going to hang out one more turn here. But our opponent should die next turn, I think. How much could I have? I could have gotten in for 3, 4, 5 if I had activated the skiff. 5 flying with the subtle strike. It still wasn't lethal, so. Well, this is cool. I feel like our opponent should have been a little bit wiser this game, and I think they pretty easily would have had it. So we kill this. Activate the skiff, block the hawk. And our opponent should be dead after that. All right. So activate skiff. And get in there. All right. That's kind of a long game one. So I guess scrutiny is a way to deal with like serpents. We do have the tidy conclusions for them though. So actually, it looked like the opposing goggles was kind of the big problem against us. Not much I can do against that. I've got the tricks, which I'd like to do in response, but that's about it. I don't think Gremlin... Bringing in Gremlin for a goggles feels wrong, so I don't think we're going to do that. So I guess that means the rest shall be kept the same. Yes, this is a keep. Very nice hand. Would like a 2-drop, but keepable hands are fine in my book. Ah, Marionette Master. All right. So, Infiltrator into Squad, probably making it a 4-2 menace. It's a pretty nice, reasonable aggressive start. And actually, Rush looks good here, too. Help us with our War of Attrition. Ah, Quicksmith Genius, also good. I still feel like I'd rather do the Infiltrator. We really have no need to rummage as of yet, since there's nothing I want to discard. Oh, our opponent is 3-color. Well, the Prism makes a lot more sense. Prism's still fine in a 2-color deck, especially one with synergies. We're going to block here. If my Infiltrator dies to a trick, I don't really care. And this is also fine. Okay. Let's see here. So let's bash with the Infiltrator. I'm not going to play the Rush because my opponent's got 4 mana up. They could have had something. And I'm still okay with that trade. And I still get to follow up with the Squad. So all in all, it still feels just fine to me. So I'm not going to make a servo either. I'd rather just have a 4-2 menace at this point. I'm sure I'll find another use for Rush of Vitality at some point. Ha, conclusion, nice. All right, well, let's get in there. All right. So we'll play the Monitor now. I guess the Genius makes more sense now, huh? Now I could actually see myself rummaging something away. Although what? I'm not exactly sure. Maybe the Master? Maybe the actual bomb rare in our deck? Because it feels like a Serpent's probably coming here. We know our opponent's got multiples, so this conclusion's going to have to deal with it. Ooh, Lookout's nice too. All right, so let's go Monitor. And I'm pretty tempted to just ditch the Master. It feels like something we're not going to need. But maybe just the Bruiser. I guess the problem is if I ditch the Bruiser... What do I want to ditch here? I actually don't know. If I ditch the Bruiser and I draw a land, it's not really bad. I still play the Lookout. If I ditch the am I reasonably getting to Master? And even if I do, well, Triple Fabricate's pretty good though. I actually don't know what the weakest card in this hand is. I have like all this Menace synergy, which is kind of why I want to keep the Bruiser. Like Squad, Monitor, Bruiser, that's 10 power Menace. 3 different Menace. Like that's just a way to push some damage through and easily raise the Serpent. So I guess I'm a little more, as crazy as it sounds, maybe ditching the Master is correct. Because even the Rush gives us a big, swingy lifelink out of nowhere. All right. I don't actually know if that's right. That was crazy. All right. Play the Lookout. And we shall pass. Not going to tack into that Serpent. I could attack with all 3 of my guys, and they could double block the squad, kill it, and they'd take 6, which I guess is pretty good. But with this Rush, I feel like even if our opponent gets aggressive with the Serpent and plays another one, we still probably can push some damage through here. Probably. Pyrohelix too, huh? So I guess we can play Skiff. Leave up the Pyrohelix. Oh yeah, do I want to rummage again? Now I actually just don't want to rummage. Like I want to land, but I'm not going to. No need. All of these cards in my hand are good. We're going to leave up the Pyrohelix to... We probably don't even have to be honest. Do we? I guess we don't. Let's just play the Bruiser. So now we just have another Menace guy. All the Menace. And all the Menace is going to be quite a bit better. Well, I guess the problem with doing it this way, playing the Bruiser, is giving Monitor Menace. I can't play Helix unless I draw another mountain, but... Oh my god, and that seems like a bad idea. That seems like a real bad idea. Oh, you even got the... that's pretty nasty. So if I were to give this Menace... How much can I bash in for? Why don't we do the math? Let's do some mathematics. Play land, Pyrohelix sees 2, Menace up, get that. Whatever. We're so easily racing here that I'm just going to do it. It's actually like lethal. So my opponent has to chump the genius. Actually, I think it's lethal. No, it's not lethal anyway. Actually, yeah, it is. 4, 7, 10, 12, 15. So they take 12 and then I rush and it's lethal. Okay. So not lethal anymore. Still not a big deal though. So let's see, 3, 6, 8. I guess we still, well, no, I guess there's really not a huge point. Well, we'll still save the rush anyway. I don't think there's a way my opponent can get double strike and win. Even if they got double strike, they couldn't win. Okay. Still just swinging for the fences. So let's skiff it up. All right. Round 2 is ours. All right, we shall see you in round 3, the finals.